the one thing I will say is a big looming factor, and it's definitely why we should get back to some normalcy. Like I told you, I went to the gym today. I haven't done that since getting COVID back in October 2020. But a lot of people haven't went on vacation.
Yeah.
A lot of people did early. The I'm not scared of the virusers. Some people got sick, some people didn't, and that's how that happens. But that was a big thing, which kind of threw people for a whole different approach at life. So I mean, like, I know that you kind of have a pretty you make your own schedule for the most part. You get the things done where you need to get done, but you kind of set yourself up for the day. How much have things kind of changed pre-COVID to now, if you can even remember pre-COVID?
Remember pre-COVID? What is that, like the dinosaurs back in the day?
Yeah.
Well, let's say, I mean, I think in the industry of real estate sales, marketing, being an entrepreneur and stuff, of what I do, I think COVID hit me, things slowed down. You're not working with people to people. People were afraid to run into each other, afraid to walk past each other. Prior to COVID, I had, a pretty good year of separation of knowing on what I can do. Meaning 2019 was very good for me as far as building up my career and knowing what I can do. I think, in all eyes, I think I got almost comfortable of like my success, and then sort of coasted into COVID and was like, oh, like this is a real check. I'm sure a lot of businesses, industries, restaurants, things have failed. So now that I've got through that storm and know, hey, the realization of when you're not producing or you're not on a regular schedule and you're not going to the gym, you're not working the way you should be, it could catch up. But yeah, I mean, big transition on 2 years, and I think you got to be in it to win it. I think that's half of the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was the mindset that my boss and mentor. Him and his father have both been mentors to me, growing up, and that was their whole thing. Is that like we're gonna do what we need to do to be safe, but we have to be able to produce, and especially people are home all quarantined, scared to go outside, but they love to hang out in their backyard and get things done and whatnot. So we had to just put the pedal to the metal and keep up with the demand. And there were safety regulations and hurdles to get over. And luckily, we got all of our, proper PPE equipment, everything sent in right away, and had everything we needed to keep us working. Because it was scary for a second. I know I went home for about two and a half weeks that we were unsure of if we were going to continue working, what was going to happen. And then the state was like, no, you guys need to keep working. And we did. And we went on to the overburners, but that's what you got to do sometimes. And I was growing into my position. I kind of started at my job 9 months before COVID, I guess, 10 months before COVID. So I was still growing into the role. And then it was just like, getting used to things. And then it was like, okay, new thing on my plate, new responsibility, getting used to it. And that's just like the normal things of a job. And then it was just like COVID was just like another hurdle that we were gonna have to. When are we doing Zoom calls? When aren't we? Who's allowed to meet in the office? How are we doing this? And yeah, so it was tough, but it was something to get over. A little bit.
Yeah, because I don't think there's no real like work-life balance. I think this is very contradicting.
Yeah, the statement is very contradicting.
I think when you really get into it, I don't think people say, it's a work-life balance. I think more of it's a counterbalance, because at least with me, and I sure seeing with other people, it's either work, and then you get that day of rest. What they say in the Bible, God created earth in 7 days and rested 6 days and rest of 7.
Yeah.
I'm not religious, but I just feel like that is very overall principle of, hey, work, get that day off, or be with your family, and then work,
someone like you, I feel like you just work every day, 7 days a week.
I mean, hey, I catch my times where maybe I'm working where I find being most efficient for 2 to 3 to 4 hours straight, and then hey, even though there's 24 hours in a day, I was most efficient for what I do in sales or marketing or whatever. It's not always clocking in and putting the time in, but it's efficiency, energy management, and not so much time management.
Making sure things are set up so you don't have to scramble later and then stuff like that. Absolutely.
You know, if you go hard for 2-3 hours of making big decisions, and then boom, you have the rest of the day to play golf or to play or do that or take lunch and stuff like that, or go out for dinner. So I think that just, one of the things that are very controversial, and people just try to take the easy route, say, oh, work-life balance, how do you, because you're not putting all your effort into either work or all your effort into resting, and that's what we just talked about. If you're going to work 6 days a week, work 6 days a week as hard as you can and take one day off to rest or a vacation, and really engulf and be in it at that time instead of worrying about this email or that text message while you're on vacation.
Go ahead, Devin. Tell us about this vacation.
Thank you, Matt. Yes, my name is Devin Bell, the one and only. I just got back from a great vacation, well needed. It was actually the day after Mother's Day that week. First time I was able to fly, my mother out, my daughter out. Met up with my grandma I haven't seen in years, and my dad ended up flying out there too. So it was a great little family get back. I didn't actually do as much relaxing as I thought, but I was able to put on for my family, and I came back strong working, and that's what we do, right?
Well, what are some of the things you did? Because I know on our vacation to California, we booked a hotel that we thought had a pool, and they didn't. And they didn't have a pool when we got there, and that was the most brutal thing. My girlfriend was just in fumes. As was I, because she was, but I saw pictures of you on Instagram by the pool. So.
Yes, certainly. I went through a whole package deal on a company I don't want to use right now because we don't have any sponsorships. But it was a package of a plane, resort, even rental car, all together. Like I said, you don't know what's going on. You just took a chance. You took a chance. I took a chance. It worked out. I didn't really have any complaints. I ended up booking two townhouses instead of one. There's no space for everybody. We didn't have to squeeze, so that was cool.
Oh, that's awesome. So in terms of the California culture, I think that is in and of itself. I mean, they were so chill, so laid back, and I was lucky enough to have my brother out there who had been there for a couple of months, so he had the chance to get his foot in the waters, meet a couple people. And that made it really fun because it wasn't like we were going there just as tourists. We got to meet friends and got introduced to like cool little eating spots. I mean, I had dinner one night on like the back of a pickup truck. I wish I could remember the name of the place.
Wow.
But they had the table right in the back of the pickup truck. They had I remember we got chicken fingers and like little cheese balls and stuff like that. And that was just like a great little spot that we went to. Just to meet up with a couple friends, so that was fun. And then there's like the luxury side of California, which is literally only a block away. So like
we're talking about Rodeo Drive, Hollywood Hills. Talk about these mega mansions that you see on TV that are right down the street.
Go
out there.
They absolutely were, and it was weird because there was things that like you heard were like, oh, this is only 10 minutes away, and then in the proximity. And, like, the visuals of what you would see going through in terms of, like, the nice appearances of the building and then some of the rundown parts. And it would switch within, like, a couple of minutes. So you'd be on Rodeo, you'd make a right turn, and unfortunately it didn't look like the best. But the garbage and everything actually was maintained. It was just the homeless.
Tell me, you saw a house from a famous guy we may know called Dan Bilzerian. Is that true?
I did see
the Ignite House.
I did see what was, because people have corrected me, what was the Ignite House.
So this, I want to sort of touch on this. We sort of explained or went into your vacation, my vacation, and the experience of traveling. I mean, what puts people in position to do that in life? I think that's like a big thing where people get stuck in that 9 to 5, or they get stuck in the Monday through Friday and they get Friday and Saturday to go out. I mean, I think we all need time to put our head down and work, but also people need to maybe set goals or see what they want to do with traveling. Don't you think it should be a little more other than just getting up and going, but really planning with your family or going?
Well, absolutely. And I mean, like I said, this was our busy season about to come, and then through which I work in the home improvement industry and landscape architect industry, all that stuff. So that business never stopped. So we went right through the winter, like a mile a minute. It was crazy. So the need for a break was even more so important now. And I think what Devin's alluding to is like the work mindset portion of what we want to talk about here, because we're both hard workers. We both have talked in the past about different endeavors. We tried to start a little marketing company a couple of years back, and it was fun. It was fun to talk about, to share ideas. I know we both had our own little adventures into the business world, especially the world of sales, marketing, and definitely have taken a lot of knowledge that we have now and can share. So before I go any further, that's definitely the main thing that we want to focus on, or one of the main things we want to focus on, is what it takes to find time to enjoy the better things in life, so to speak, or the fun things where you can take some time. And definitely going on vacation is a big thing. But when we get out to play golf, or even if we go to the driving range, we just get to sit there and talk about our day of work, and however stressful it might have been, we can talk about it and kind of BS a little